Hello and hey, today we're gonna mess around with Golf with Your Friends. This time gonna be the full power ancient strategy. I did all the other courses much earlier on, but needed something to do here, and this was kind of fun to find these. Don't worry too much about this particular strategy right here. The only way to really get up there in one full power shot is to be closer to it. So any way you kind of find there. And again, super simple strat. Turn to the left, fire it into the wall full power. Hole number 2, I'm going to swing around over here to this Y, just left of the left edge of that Y. It does have a fairly narrow window, but you'll find it without too much trouble. It's possible to miss doing this, but again, it's not terrible. Hole 3, we're going to go ahead and mess around right here with the classic strat full power, right at that white little strip on that corner. And as long as you don't hit this corner, you make it down very easily into the bowl. Hole number 4, there is a hole-in-one if you zoom all the way out and kind of do this with the exact perfect frame timing. But we'll go ahead and show you something a little more simple. Come over to this dark block right next to the wedge. Full power. Again, not super specific. Don't worry too much about where I was doing this. That's why I'm not doing the freeze frame things for this particular hole. And for this shot, we wait for this log to just kind of appear in our vision. Aiming anywhere right around there. We do want to bounce off that side because it slows us down ever so slightly to not fly out of that bowl. Again, not ultra specific. Play around with it. Find your own shot. It's pretty simple. Hole 5. We'll swing around here and go just in the middle of these two lines, but just like a tick to the right. And once we enter the water, we're going to wait and then pop out the exact right moment, bouncing off of the side to keep us in, but kind of redirecting us over to the bowl. It is much more specific than the classic strat, so just give it some time, but you'll find it, I'm sure. Hole 6, I had some people actually contact me while I did the first time. This is a super simple strat. Don't let the stroke count fool you. I usually say that when I'm up in the 40s or something like that, but this is just should work every single time. Second shot, we're going to about a half tile to our left on the left side technically to us because we need to be all the way back here for a full power shot. And we're just trying to basically center it up so we can hit the hill and roll back directly into the hole for a 3, which is the only hole strategy that will be above par. And I almost choked out there, so I'm glad we figured it out. Hole 7, just classic. I aim at that moss on the right side of me. Every time. This strat has been known since the game, or this map, since the game came out, since this map came out. Hole 8, swinging over here to our right. See that little crease down there? We go just about a half tile to the right of that. You'll know you got it if you get that Y off your bounce, and you kind of come just off the edge here. And again, a very simple, very long-known hole-in-one for hole 8. Hole 9, like to mix it up, come over here to our right. Just left of this F on that solid bar here. We just sneak by this corner. Leaves us in a good spot. We're going to aim just right of this F at full power and then wait for the steam to kind of just start to dissipate. It'll launch us up here. And fortunately, most of the time, if you get the same exact bounce, but sometimes you don't, but just heads up on this. We're going to aim directly at this dark corner. And it just happens to work out for us to get a 3. And so we are, again, below par on a hole that I did not expect to be able to get so easily. Hole 10, I was zooming all the way in and I forgot my spot, but it came out to the regular 5 zoom out camera for this hole-in-one. Again, just the classic strat. If you want any of these classic strats, I do have a video for that. Maybe I'll even remember to put a card in right here. Maybe I'll, do some YouTube stuff. Hole 11, it can be done in 2, and then all of a sudden I couldn't do it in 2 anymore. So I have to develop a different strat here. Getting full power at that one little crease you saw me at, and then over here, just left of this corner. And sometimes you can bounce off that, and sometimes you don't. And if you don't, you need to bounce off of this wall, basically right here. And what you're trying to do is bounce anywhere off of the, I shouldn't say back wall, but I'll show it here in a second. Yeah, that wall just kills your entire ball. Anywhere like on that side just kills your ball. So that's great for our purposes. Hole 12, just right of the center part of the Y. allows us to kind of bounce over here. It is possible to get a hole-in-one with a very lucky, crazy bounce, but it was too hard to replicate, so this one's a lot easier. We do need to bounce off of the left wall here, just inside of that thing. It's not a specific shot again. I get a very lucky bounce there. That was not entirely how that goes every time. Sometimes you do kind of bounce around a little bit, and that's unfortunate. But keep playing with it, and I'm sure you'll find your own shot, because you do end up at different spots on hole 12. Hole 13, this is the classic strat. Should be fairly well known at this point. Again, if you want to know exactly where to aim, go ahead and look at my guide. I do have freeze frames in those particular ones, and then right there is just kind of where I aim in general. Hole 14, if there is a full power strat for this hole, I do not currently know it. I feel like you have to take something off of it to get the hole-in-one consistently, but if you don't and you know it, go ahead and leave a comment. That'd be nice. I'd like to know where that's at. But assuming you kind of end up where I end up, and sometimes you will get a lucky hole-in-one if you bounce off those teeth claw things, but you just aim at the top of the hill and you should 99% of the time stay in this bowl, unless you were unlucky enough to hit one of those teeth claw things, and that's where you are. So hole 15, aim just towards the right edge of that one block, and then we come over here to this dark block, and just again about a pixel right of that, and then for whatever reason, this is why the stroke count is so high, just the ball would stop. I've had that happen plenty of times before. I'm not really sure what causes it, so I just kind of left it like hopefully it doesn't happen to everybody else. Hole 16, as my normal classic strat, I usually go for the crease all the way down there. You can barely see it where we are, but if you want to bounce off of it, you want to bounce just to the right of it if you're going to miss it. And then we're going to aim just left of this crease at full power, obviously. Don't know why I even specified that in this particular video, but this is where we're going to be at. Hole 17, I do a pretty good job of leaving it on screen here. It's going to be a full power, I keep saying that, but right on this exact pixel right here. There we go. And we let it go. I still don't know who found that shot. A wonderful shot. Great shot. Congratulations whoever found that. I wouldn't have found that. That was crazy, but I like that shot a lot. And hole 18, I was trying some new stuff. We're going to go ahead and turn all the way around. Aim just right, which is kind of counterintuitive considering we end up going the opposite way off of the bounce. We do get kind of a nice bounce here. You can get some very strange bounces, which is why I did so much testing during this particular one. I aim about a tile off to the right on top of the hill, and anything to get us with a straight view of the hole here. And then from here, we're going to go full power. We're aiming to shoot past the hole to bounce back into the course. And from here, I made a mistake. You're supposed to turn around to get the proper speed, but you'll see me kind of miss and come up about the exact length short you would need to get into the hole if I aimed at the opposite wall. But if you do get super lucky, you can aim directly at the center of the hole and then maybe just a tick to the left. And that seems to be the only way a full power one goes in. You can't be too close or too far away from the hole to do that. It's this very strange mid-range, because normally it'll swirl and then pop out and sometimes even leave the course. So just a heads up on that. But these are the full power strats that I've come up with. It's pretty simple to get under par. I shouldn't say it's pretty simple. It's very manageable to get under par with these particular strats. So if you fancy doing that still, if that's still a challenge that people like to do, hopefully that helped you. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be safe, guys.